It was Friday night. Jessica, as always, lingered at work only not to listen to the piercing silence of her apartment. After the death of Max, her young husband, Jessica did not like to return home. A working sheet froze on the monitor screen, but Jess just tiredly looked at her and Max's wedding photo on her desk. Tears stuck in a tight lump in her throat and were ready to pour out of her eyes. How often did she have dreams of reuniting with her deceased husband? But she was too young, beautiful, and healthy. Suddenly, the table under her elbows vibrated, and she heard heavy footsteps somewhere on the other side of the office. Cleaner? But he left about an hour ago. Probably security guard is just making a detour. Jessica often stayed up late, so this did not alert her. She returned back to work on the table, and another hour passed. The guard's footsteps were no longer audible, and dead silence reigned in the building, broken only by the sound of her keyboard. Getting very tired, she looked at the clock. Oh, it's already midnight. Again, I stayed up so late. Suddenly, overwhelming fatigue swept over Jessica, and she lowered her head to the table to rest and fell into a heavy sleep. In her dream, Max came to her for the first time in all the months after the tragedy. He was very calm and looked peaceful. Jessica said, "I miss you so much, love. Why did you leave me? Why did you die so early?" Died? What are you saying? I just left for a short while and very soon we will see each other. I promise you that. But I was at your funeral. I remember. Max laughed. A loud sharp knock woke Jess, and she jumped to her feet in fright. The office was windy, and her hair was very disheveled. It's strange because I did not remove the hairpin. The cold February air was blowing to the bone, and Jess realized that she was also standing in a pitch darkness. She saw in the rays of moonlight that the window was broken. But our office is on the 25th floor. What the hell? I need to leave before I catch a cold. I wonder if the guard is still here. Hey, is there anyone here? Without understanding why, she began to look around in fright, searching for a way out. The inner voice screamed, "Run!" She was not mistaken. The floor under her feet began to shake, and the wind turned into a real hurricane. Jessica's heart pounded, and she rushed to the nearest exit. The path to the elevator seemed endless. When she finally ran into the elevator and the doors closed behind her, she still heard loud howls of the wind, going lower and lower. She felt growing despair rising in her chest. Finally, ground floor. When the elevator door opened, Jessica was seized with chilling horror. There was a wall in front of her, made of soil. She froze for a second and then, in horror, began to dig the icy soil with her hands, trying to get to oxygen. Her head was spinning, and she was digging faster and faster until she came across something solid. A door? A tree? What is it? Oh my god. A coffin? She cleaned the soil, took a deep breath, and opened the coffin with shaking hands. Oh, what a disgusting dream. Work as a pizza delivery boy in Domino's. It was a very stressful job. I used to come across several odd people during my pizza deliveries. But there was one incident which, even today, when I think about, I fail to understand whether that was reality or a nightmare. That night, after delivering my last pizza for the shift, I was about to go home when the phone on the counter rang. The guy who normally picks up the phone wasn't here due to an emergency and had gone home, and there was nobody to pick up the phone except me. That's why my boss from his room told me to pick up the phone. In my head, I was cursing him. But after picking up the phone, I had to suppress my anger and talk to the customer. The woman on the other end's voice was so quiet. I had to ask her to repeat everything twice. She ordered a large pizza and told me her address. Before I could ask her name, she hung up. What? Oh crap. Anyways, I set out to deliver her pizza to her address. It was around 11:30 p.m. Her house was very far away, and the road was very quiet and rough. The road was surrounded by a thick forest, which made the road look even more scary. There was no sign of any car or people for miles. Suddenly, I saw a small boy at the side of the road. Upon seeing him on such a quiet road at night, I stopped the car. I had a feeling that he might have gotten lost, so I asked him what he was doing on such a dark night. If he wanted, I could drop him home. But the amazing thing was, he didn't give me any kind of reaction or response at all. I tried to repeat what I said about 2 or 3 times, but after that I stopped and just drove on. Since it was late, all I wanted to do was deliver the pizza and go home. I was already very late. Finally, I arrived at the given address. In the quiet and darkness, I felt a strange sense of nervousness and unease. And I was surprised to find that none of the lights were on in any of the rooms. I thought that was just great. It looks like everyone just ordered a pizza and went to bed. Suddenly, one of the lights in the upper rooms turned on. I just wanted to quickly deliver the pizza and go home. I hope they give me a good tip. I had to come so far. I rang the doorbell and waited a few minutes, but there was no kind of response. I rang the bell again, and this time I heard someone coming to open the door. When the door opened, I was shocked. The kid who opened the door was the same kid I found at the side of the road. At that time, there was only one question in my mind. How did this kid get home so fast? However, this wasn't very important right now. All I wanted was to deliver their pizza and leave. Here's your large pizza. That kid had the same blank expression on his face. Is there anyone at home? Where are your parents? Could you please let them know that the pizza delivery man is here? The kid remained silent, with the same blank expression on his face. His silence was seriously creeping me out. Suddenly, from the upstairs room, I heard a woman screaming in pain. But after what I saw, I will never forget it. I was so scared that the pizza fell out of my hand. I ran to my car, got in, and drove out of there as fast as I could. After that, I decided that calling the police was the right thing to do. I called them and explained them everything. God knows who that woman was and why was she screaming like that. When I arrived home, I got a call from the police station telling me that they did not find anything in the house. There was no woman and there was no kid. After further investigation, the police found out that the house had been empty for 2 years. A family used to live there 2 years ago. One night, the husband ran away after murdering his wife and 10-year-old son. The police found their bodies 3 days later. Since then, the house has been empty. Nobody wanted to live there. Hearing this, I felt faint with fear. Who was at the door when I went there? Are the mother and son souls still roaming Earth today? Maybe I'll never find the answers to those questions.